When people talk about self-care for moms, it's always the same. Bubble baths, candles, massages, maybe a book in a rocking chair under the stars. And don't get me wrong, all those things sound absolutely lovely if this is your thing. But as for me, sometimes all I want is just to watch Squid Game in peace, with no interruptions, and without a toddler peeking out of the corner and saying,
"Mommy, why is this person screaming?"
So just me and some horror-filled chaos. And if you're like me, navigating, working, breastfeeding, co-sleeping, and having little ones around much of the time, you know that carving time out for yourself is near impossible, especially if your hobbies are not child-friendly. Motherhood is kind of like its own Squid Game, where your sanity is the ultimate price of losing. And I know I'm not alone, so today I wanted to jump in and share some tips that will have you get some me time back. No eliminations here. Tip number 1 is that timing is everything. Just like in a cheeky game of red light, green light, we need to move quickly during green light and promptly freeze when the light is red. For us moms, those green light moments may look like a baby peacefully napping or even playing independently. These are your golden nuggets of opportunity to do something you truly enjoy. Although some hobbies like sewing or anything else that involves stabby, dangerous objects may need to be put off until the baby is just that little bit older. However, something like watching a movie is purely dependent on your preparation. My baby daughter sleeps right next to me, attached to me, latched on almost the entire time. So what I try to do to the best of my ability is do all the chores with her awake while she's content and happily crawling and playing. And then when it's time for her to go down for a nap, I lie down with her, put on my wonderful magical band headphones. And the really cool thing about this is that they're really comfortable when you're lying down. And then I just pull my phone out and watch whatever I enjoy. Using this strategy has actually enabled me to watch the entire season of Squid Game 2 in a matter of like 3 days or so. And the common tip you will hear is that you need to sleep while the baby is sleeping. However, I propose replacing it with do whatever fills your cup when the baby is sleeping. Sometimes it is going to be sleeping, but it's almost never laundry. Do laundry when the baby is awake. Tip number 2 is to form strategic alliances. For example, if your partner is around and you're kind of shackled together in this bizarre game of raising little ones, you really have an advantage of being able to rely on teamwork to get certain things done. Have open communication with each other so that each one of you can have some much deserved me time. For example, perhaps while one of the partners is doing the whole bedtime routine, the other does have this little time slot to catch a breath, have a cup of tea, and get involved with their hobby, even if just for 15 to 30 minutes. This mutual support and clear communication ensures both of you have a fair chance of at least attempting to get the relaxation you need. Although, of course, sometimes things do not go as planned. As a bonus, this routine doesn't only benefit you individually, it also strengthens your relationship. Tip number 3, find your safe zone. Just like in a game of Mingle, sometimes you need to think quickly and find a safe zone to unwind and survive. This could be your bedroom, your bathroom, or even a car parked in your driveway. When your kids are occupied or when they're with another caregiver, claim your safe space and make the most of it. And make sure that everyone knows that when mommy disappears into there, she's absolutely entirely off limits for a certain amount of time, even 15 minutes. And just like I mentioned before, your safe zone can actually travel with you. For example, my headphones, headband, and my phone constitute a portable cinema that I can bust out about anywhere if my baby falls asleep or happens to be super distracted. Tip number 4 is making the most of nighttime. When the kids are zonked out for the night, even if you can't actually leave their room, for example, you are co-sleeping, bed sharing, breastfeeding mother, you will probably find that nighttime sleep is still when your kids are less distractible. So you can sort of sneakily roll away, pull a nightlight out, and maybe do a little bit of what your heart desires. Many entertainment apps have built-in night modes that ensure that you can still enjoy stuff that happens on screen without it lighting up the whole room and waking up the baby lying next to you. So definitely play around with settings and find the sweet spot that reduces your eye strain while still being enjoyable. And my final tip is not so fun. However, I think it's very true. Sometimes you just need to embrace and accept the reality. Raising kids is no easy feat, and sometimes the days feel excruciatingly long. You're touched out and you can't wait until you get that moment for yourself, only for them to skip a nap, throw a tantrum, etc. This journey is full of twists and turns, and it's not always as we would want it to go despite our best efforts and doing everything by the parenting books, which, by the way, rarely work anyway. So working on releasing this expectation of perfect moments is really, really important for your mental health and well-being, in my opinion. And when you do get that much needed me time, make the most of it. So yes, motherhood is pretty much its own kind of Squid Game. You're constantly strategizing, multitasking, and navigating challenges, and the stakes are really, really high. But with the right mindset, tools, a little creativity, and a lot of luck, you can carve out the time you need to enjoy your favorite, not so family-friendly hobbies. I would love to hear from you. What is your Squid Game type hobby, and how do you find opportunities to incorporate it into your daily life with chaotic little ones? Remember, every player deserves a break. Speaking of which, I'm going to get mine right now. I'll see you in the next video.